Thank you, Mark. And I just heard Broncos. So the acoustics are they're shrill in here. And so we're in a gym, but this is such a beautiful facility. And welcome, FBC family. Thank you for having me. I am so excited to be here. I'm going to manage the PowerPoint and the microphone. And so when you see me going back and forth, that's what I'm doing. I'm just clicking. So sorry. I'll get like 5 minutes in, we'll get good with the acoustics. But I want to share my name with you guys, Petra Krebb. This is the best way to get a hold of me. So after today's presentation, if you do have questions or you want more information about the Energy Bus and about what we're doing here today, this is how you can get a hold of me. I am available. I will be representing the Energy Bus, which is a best-selling book by best-selling author John Gordon. How many of you, by a show of hands, have heard of John Gordon? 3 of us. Yes! I promise you, you will follow him now. You will know who he is after this presentation for sure, and your fabulous leadership team will be introducing some of his concepts as well. I was here in July and got to work with them and with the Power of Positive Leadership, and I cannot even tell you how much they bragged about every single one of you in this room. They said they have the best teams. I think there was a little competition going on, who's got the better team. And I'm so excited to be here today. So when we talk about energy shift, I woke up yesterday morning with a little bit of a cold. This morning I felt like I was underwater. Anybody else dragging this cold around? Yes, show of hands, a few of us, okay. So then when I woke up this morning and realized that I got to be at FBC today, I put on my heels and my energy went up because I am so excited to be here. You guys are world changers. You're bridge builders. What you are building here is phenomenal. So somebody from the outside coming in, also new to Arizona, didn't know that much about Foundation for the Blind Children, and have been doing research, and just the tour that I received and doing the work with your leadership team was impeccable. But let me tell you what stood out to me the most. I don't want you guys to forget this, and I don't want you to take for granted the work you do here and why I'm so excited to be here. It's not because I'm a rah-rah cheerleader. I was never. People always think I was because I have a lot of energy. But I'm excited to be here because when I received the tour and started learning more about FBC, and I was walking the hallways, your Lisa, Dr. Lisa, was telling me, you are going to be going, walking around. You will meet some people who are vision impaired as you go to the restroom or you walk around our hallways. And so I just want you to know, you will experience, run into some people. And I said, okay, so she goes, so just be careful and, and introduce yourself. I went into the restroom and I also met a great client in the kitchen. That was vision impaired, and I went into the restroom several times. Don't worry, I can hold it for an hour. So I went into the restroom, and every time it was, hello, how are you today? Or when I walked down the hallway and we walked to the room where you do all of your media and your printing, hello, how are you today? And it stood out to me, somebody who doesn't walk these halls every day. I left there that day, and I'm going to get really emotional, and I haven't even started, so I apologize. But I left here that day, and I met my family for dinner, and they said, how was it, Mom? And I speak a lot. I travel a lot. I meet a lot of organizations, and I travel around the country with John Gordon. There's only 6 or 8 of us who are certified to represent his books and speak on his behalf. So we're a small speaker team. So I travel a lot to a lot of places and meet a lot of organizations. And I sat down at dinner that night, and I said, I was just at the Foundation of Blind Children, and I have been more seen by people who may not have their vision than I have since we moved to this town, than I do every day walking around. I walk into a restroom, other places, nobody says, hello, how are you? I walk into a store, nobody says, hello, how are you? I walk around hallways in lots of buildings. People don't even look at each other. They have their eyes down on their screen. I know for the visually impaired, the audio is a cue. you guys use, but it is a bridge that you're building for people like me who are not aware or not equipped. It's a skill that you have that you can share with so many people outside of this building. And I know you do, because you are not just in this building, but I'm just saying the work you do here spans so much more than what you do here. So I just wanted you to know what an impact that has made on me, and I'm grateful to be here. So let's get started. Are you guys ready? Because you have important work to do. Obviously, you're making me cry already, and it's only been 5 minutes. Okay, so that's me. That's how you get a hold of me. 10 rules to fuel your life, work, and team. So what is the Energy Bus? So 3 of us have heard of John Gordon. The Energy Bus talks about a character named George. It's a short, easy read. It's a fable about George, who feels like the whole world is against him. Work isn't going right, family is against him, his wife is against him. He's just not feeling it. He feels down in the dumps, and on top of everything, he gets a flat tire. His wife is busy, she can't take him to work, so he has to take the bus. And George takes the bus, takes his car to the mechanic, takes the bus, not just one day, 10 days. He meets a bus driver named Joy and a cast of characters along the way, and Joy teaches him the 10 rules to have the ride of your life, right? So she calls George dimmers. They're the people you see walking around and they don't really have a light on, or their energy, you can just feel it, right? Even when you pass them in the hallways. She calls them dimmers. So George takes the bus. This fable is actually based on John Gordon himself. He had a time in his life where everything went wrong. He owned a few restaurants, they didn't do very well. A job that he had didn't do very well. He felt like the whole world was against him. So when John Gordon talks about positivity, it is something he has had to learn. It is something he has had to research. And the only reason he wrote this book is because his wife gave him an ultimatum. She said, your energy has got to change because you're bringing down the whole team and even work. So even though the Energy Bus is a fable and it's based, on George and his story, and I urge you to read it. We're not going to go through the whole book, but I urge you to read it because it's so good. We're going to go through the 10 rules that Joy teaches George that I hope resonate with each of you. You'll have a list, or you've seen the 10 rules, right? And so as we go through these, I hope that you'll maybe circle or make a mental note of the rule that really hits you, that really resonates with you, that you feel like, maybe I need to spend some more time with this, okay? We are talking about being in a bus and driving, and it's a concept, right? We all know what it's like. We may not all be physically driving a car every day, but we all know what it's like to be on the road and to be moving forward. So I'll try to be as descriptive with this as I can as well. Rule number 1. You'll see a sign here, a road sign. Negativity road or positivity road, right? Ho-hum or easy street. And rule number 1 is you are the driver of the bus. Repeat after me. I'm the driver of my bus. You guys can do better than that. I'm the driver of my bus. Woo! Okay, now one more time, and you're going to grab that wheel. Picture it. Grab the wheel. I'm the driver of my bus. Awesome! I saw that. Okay, you're going to actually learn 3 hand movements today. It's going to be good. So the first one, take the wheel of your bus. George felt like he was not in control of his life. He felt like he was at the whim of everybody else's travel plans. And yes, you work for FBC. And yes, you have a family. And yes, you have other obligations. We are a fleet of buses here. We are all responsible for our own bus as well. We drive on each other's bus, but we are each responsible for our own bus as well. So we need to make sure that we're taking the driver's seat when we need to, that we take responsibility for the things that we can control instead of worrying about the things we can't control, right? And we'll talk about some of that. So you have 6 impact areas of your life. You've got mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, relational, and financial. That's what we define as the big 6 impact areas of your life. As you look at these, I would like for you to just take a second and think, in which one of these areas am I the driver? And in which one have I gotten off the bus? Which one, right? Maybe some of you, a lot of us are married as well, and so maybe we're not in the driver's seat on some of these things. We share it, but are you riding shotgun? I have a friend who just lost her husband unexpectedly. She had no idea of her financial house. She wasn't on that bus. So where are you on the different buses that you drive, and what are you in control of? Where are you in the driver's seat? Where are you in the passenger seat? And where are you off the bus where you need to step back on, right? So that's what we're talking about, is taking the wheel and taking control of your life so that you take responsibility of where you're going. When you don't take the wheel and you just sit on the back of the bus, what happens? You're at the whim of everyone else's travel plans. You're just along for the ride. Then you end up one day in some destination and you're like, how did I get here? This isn't where I wanted to go. But it's because we're in the back of the bus or we've fallen asleep. And we feel like everyone else is in control and we're not. But you are, because I'm the driver of my bus. I'm the driver of my bus. I didn't see the wheels. Come on, you can do better. I'm the driver of my bus. Yes, in these 6 impact areas. So this is a quote I love. This is a quote by Francis of Assisi. Let me read it to you. Start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you're doing the impossible. Sometimes when I think about being the driver of my bus, that vision and that dream can be overwhelming. It's really big. I'm like, okay, all right. I gotta get on my bus. I have to grab the wheel, turn the engine on. Here's where I'm going. Here's my vision. Here's what I want to do. And then I'm like, gosh, that's such a long road ahead, right? I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to get there. It just feels overwhelming. This is a quote that fell in my pocket a long time ago. Not even part of the John Gordon training, but it has helped me in my personal life. And my son actually clung on to this. He just graduated with his master's in accounting. And he was saying, Mom, I need to do this in a year because this is how much money I have. And I said, get a loan. I even said, get a loan. Tack on another year, 1 year. And he said, no, I think I can do it. I can do it faster, and I can skip this, and I can, he had it all figured out. And he says, but it's really overwhelming. So I shared this quote with him. And every time we talked, which was almost daily, I said, just do what's necessary. Then do what's possible. And before you know it, you're doing the impossible. I know that's what you're teaching your clients, your kids that come through this building, right? You're saying, okay, here's what's necessary. Like the gentleman that I met with Lisa, who knew he was going to lose his vision, and he was already being proactive. He said, I'm here, these are the things that I want to learn. He's doing what's necessary. What's possible is that he has this beautiful place called FBC. And one day, he's going to be doing the impossible. So we forget, I think, especially when we're in a work of service, because this happens to me as well, we do it for others. We're like, yes, come on, do what's necessary, do what's possible. But we forget about ourselves. So I want you to hang on to that quote for yourself. Do what's necessary. Whatever vision you have right now, as you drive your bus, do what's possible. You may not have the $1 million, right, to buy your own island yet. But what do you have to do? What is necessary, what is possible, and before you know it, you're doing the impossible. Are you ready for rule number 2? Desire, vision, and focus move your bus in the right direction. Desire, vision, and focus move your bus in the right direction. So you've got to have a desire to get in your garage and get in your bus and put the key in the ignition and drive the wheel, right? You have to have a vision. You have to have a vision. Where do you want to go? And desire and vision, that's what gives you your focus. If you have desire and you have a vision, that's what gives you your focus. So the vision, right, for FBC is to make sure, it's written here, vision loss is a diagnosis, not a disability. When you have a vision for your life and your work and your team, it needs to be something everyone can rally around. It needs to be clear. It needs to be simple. So whatever your vision is for your classroom, for your work, for your family, for your coworkers, rally together, right? And create that desire, that vision, and focus. Windshield view. Picture of a windshield up here, but we can all picture it, right? We know what it's like to be traveling, and we're going straight ahead. What I want to challenge you to do is to always keep your windshield view. Life happens. Adversity and challenges are inevitable. It's called the curriculum of life. And you see it here, right, in your work every day. So there is adversity, there are challenges, and they're all around us. But when you know where you're going and why you're going there, it is much easier to move your bus ahead. A lot of times what happens is this. We get in the bus, we put the key in the ignition, and we start the engine. We're on our road. We know where we're going. We have that vision. We have the desire. We're focused. And all of a sudden we go, did I leave the oven on? I don't cook. Did I leave the lights on? Did I lock the front door? And we start looking in the rearview mirror. And we start going back to where we came from. And we say, well, I'm not really sure if I should go this way because I should really go back, right? I forgot something. I'm sure I forgot something. And we go back and we put our bus in the garage and turn off the engine and we stay comfortable because it's what we know. Looking in the rearview mirror of where we came from is easy because it's really easy to turn around. We just turn around and we go back and we're in our comfort zone again. Or worse, I think this is worse. Some people would argue with me. My team, we always argue. We hash it out about this because they say, well, okay, people go back to their comfort zone. I think this is worse, especially in times now of social media and being in the public eye. Is we're in our bus, we're driving, we have our vision, we're looking in the windshield, not in the rear view mirror, and we get to a stop sign or a red light. What do? We look left, we look right, we go, that bus is a better color than mine. Look at that ride. That's gonna go faster than mine. It's the comparison trap. Look left and right now. Who's sitting next to you? Right? Look left and right. Don't compare yourself. Know that the person to the left and the right of you has their own journey. They are uniquely made and they're a unique employee of FBC and they are here for a reason just like you are here for a reason. And I bet you see this with your clients too. Right? So they all come here and they may compare themselves and families as well. We talked about that a little bit in our leadership workshop where we said, well, we're all on the same journey. We are all impacted by vision impairment. So their journey must look like mine and my journey must look like theirs. And why is theirs looking like this? And why are they better at this? And, and why is their dog look like that or do this? And my buddy doesn't, which, by the way, the dogs are all phenomenal. They're all perfect. But what I'm saying is we have such a tendency to compare our journey and you can get stuck. Because you're on your own journey. You're uniquely made. You're uniquely here for a reason. So is every family. So is every client that walks through that door. So make sure that you send that message to them as well. Look through the windshield. Are you ready for your second move you're going to learn today? Okay. When the windshield gets dirty or a little bit messy, what do we need to do? Turn on the windshield wiper. Oh, see, you guys have been on a bus before, windshield, right? So your windshield wiper, let's see it. Woo! I'm the driver of my bus. I'm the driver of my bus. Yes, waving those arms up and down. Awesome. Okay, we're going to put it all together, I promise, and it won't seem so silly. So here's another way to make sure that you have a clear windshield view. I'm going to give you this formula, and I hope that you put it in your back pocket. E plus P equals O. That's what it says up here. E plus P equals O. E stands for events. P is your perception. And O is the outcome of those events. I had a very, very good teacher of this formula before my John Gordon journey. My mother-in-law, I've been married for 25 years, my mother-in-law, Alice, was the greatest teacher of E plus P equals O. My husband's parents were hit by a drunk driver when he was only 5 years old. They survived, but Alice was a quadriplegic all of her life, and she just passed last October. And I saw her perception of that event, thanking God every day that she was alive to see her kids grow up. When I met her, she was like, I have been waiting to meet you. She was waiting to meet her little boy's wife. I don't know what she thought about that, but we got along just fine. And she is, she's my hero. And the same with, he has a sister. And so her perception and her gratitude to be alive, even though it was maybe not the life that she expected, was so overwhelming that people were drawn to her like a magnet. She was magnificent. At the time when we could put her, we had a lift and we would put her in the wheelchair. She was the greeter at her church. She would get around in her wheelchair a little bit. The last 4 years of her life, she was bedridden. But even then I said, Mom, what do you want people to know about you and your legacy and the way that you live your life? What do you want your grandkids, your great-grandchildren to know? And she said, I get up every day and I ask God, what do you have for me? And he shows me. And I'm thinking, when is the last time I got up and said, what do you have for me today? And he said, and he shows me. And here's a woman who lays in the same bed in the same room every day. So what are we doing with our life? What is our perception of our events that equal the outcome? Because I can tell you my father-in-law's perception of that event, not so rosy, not so magnetic. And they had to get through him to get to her. So we're still working on him. And love him to death, right? Love all your people. But her perception was so magnetic that her outcome was magnificent. And what I want you to know, too, statistically, every single one of you in this gymnasium will influence 80,000 people in your lifetime. One person on earth influences 80,000 in their lifetime. Maybe not direct, maybe not the way you and I get to meet today, but you will have influence over people that you may not even meet because you lived and breathed and you changed your perception to a more positive one. For example, my mom, Alice, as well, had a caretaker who was with her for a little while, and she had had a drug addiction, lost custody of her young boy. 3 months with my mother-in-law, reunited with her husband, reunited with her child. She now is pregnant with a second child. That's the kind of outcome we're hoping for. That's the kind of outcome that we are looking for, to change the negative into the positive. So that's the energy you give off, and you have 80,000 people waiting for you. What are you waiting for, right? Okay, here's another little exercise we like to do. It's called One Word. And John Gordon wrote a book called The One Word. And so if you get a chance, you can pick this up. But what's great about this book is it focuses, remember those 6 impact areas, on one word to apply to all of the impact areas of your life. My family and I we've adopted this about 6 or 7 years ago. We do it after every Christmas. We go, what's your word for the next year? So I have a word for the year. I have a word for my team. We have a word as a family, and we live that word. So there's instructions on how to do that, and maybe your leadership team will implement this as well, because we did work on this. And so it's about having one word. Instead of having a list of goals, I need to eat vegan, I need to do this, right? I need to do all these things. It's about having one word. So, one of the years my word was strength. Another one, it was peace. And so whatever that is, whatever it is that you need, when you get really good at this, your word hits you in the back of the head like none other. Now that time comes around and it's already haunting me. It's like, ooh, this is your word. This is your word. I already know. How many of you have heard of the one word exercise by a show of hands? Okay, so a few of you. I would like to call some volunteers up. Can I have 4 people to come up and share their word? 4 people, yes. Come on up. Okay, come on up, yes. One more brave soul. I saw you raise your hand, Jared. Did you raise your hand? Oh, you didn't? Oh, I thought you raised your hand. Somebody from over here. Yes, come on up. Come on down, people. Woo! Can we give them a big round of applause? This is a little bit of a vulnerable exercise because you're revealing your word. And you're not just revealing your word. I want you to tell your coworkers why you chose that word and what it means to you.
So I chose the word balance because I feel like I can always use balance in every aspect of my life. Sometimes I'll lean left and I need to kind of put some right in there. So that is why I chose balance.
So my word was communication. And so for that one, looking at professionally, as the media center, we have districts come from all over. We have teachers all over the state, and everyone's looking for an answer to a question, and we're there as a part of our communication. And then personally, I am only 7 months married, and so I am learning to communicate more and more with my new wife.
So my word for the year was follow up. So I guess I have 2 words, but yeah, follow up. And I've always said that I wanted to run a marathon. And then at the beginning of this year, I was thinking about following up and all the yeses I give, and do I always follow up on those things? And so it helped me to kind of realize when I need to say no, to say yes to myself. But then I thought, well, I've always been saying I'm going to run a marathon, I'm going to do this. And then this was the year that I did it, and I did it in May.
My word is support. I get to lead a pretty large team here and a team that does some pretty amazing things. I don't get to do it firsthand, but take it as my role to support the people that are doing the amazing work every day.
Thank you. Okay, again, please. Round of applause. I was turning the pages. Anyway, amazing. I love that. Balance has been my word too. It's like, yeah, you're always back and forth. And a marathon, amazing. So do you see how that works? When you have that one word, you apply it to your professional life and your personal life. So I want to challenge every single one of you to find your one word. You look up, you look in, and you live it out. And sometimes finding it isn't the hardest part. It's really in living it out and sharing it with others. So you're going to walk away with an accountability partner today. And that would be a great exercise to do with them, is to find your word. You know, a lot of times we look at the first of the year, like the first month, the first 60 days of a new year, I challenge you to finish this year strong with a word that has meaning to you and that will really move you forward to finish that year strong. So make sure you do that and you guys collaborate on that. Very, very powerful. Rule number 3, are you ready? Fuel your ride with positive energy. I know you've heard this before by Henry Ford. Here's a quote. If you think you can do a thing or you think you can't do a thing, you're right. How many of you have heard that? Show of hands. Yes. It starts in your mind. This is when you step up to the fuel pump. You can fill your bus with negative or positive fuel, right? It starts in your mind. If you think you can do something, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. We talked about life giving us adversity and challenges. When we look at this quote, we have to remember that our positive mindset has to outweigh the negativity in this world. And we're bombarded with it everywhere we go, right? The negative energy. So this is a reminder to really make that switch within yourself because I'm the driver of my bus. Yes, okay, good. So here's the way I want to do this. Can I have 4 more volunteers? You don't have to have a special word or a special skill. Yes, come on up. Yes, come on up. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yes, can we give a round of applause? Okay, go ahead. No. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. We'll put you right here. Thank you so much. Okay. This is a great exercise to switch your mindset. Our to-do list. Do you guys have one? Do you guys have things to do? No, we just sit around the gym all day, every day. Yes, we have a to-do list. Sometimes it is rampant long. So I would like for you to name your top 5 things that you have to, without question, do every day.
Wake up, feed my cat, have some coffee, do my job in everything that I do, because that's a lot of us, and the jobs that we do here, a lot of it is something we kind of do all day, every day, in the way that we move through the world. That was 4 things, 3 things? I need 2 more?
So you had wake up.
Wake up, have coffee, feed my cat, do my job all day, every day. That's 4. I need 1 more thing. Write down my to-do list, y'all, because neurodiverse squad.
You're my kind of girl. I have a list of
My number 1 is I get up at 3:30 in the morning because I go to the gym. And if I don't go to the gym, I know I won't do it at the end of the day. So that's the number 1 thing on my list. And after that, I know is to survive by the end of the day because I know I have to take care of my family. Yeah, I have to get up. The gym is my second. Get ready for work. And what? And work. And 4th is to go home and be with my family.
Awesome. Okay, pass it down.
It's hard following people because, of course, we all have to get up, right? Go to work. I feel it's really important for me, like, just to be kind and mindful all day long. That's just something that is important to me. I like to work out after work, so I don't go home until I stop at the gym on the way. I just have to get rid of the extra energy. And what else? Take care of the fish, salami. Make sure you stop by the nurse's office to meet Salami, named by one of our students.
Okay, if you know me, if I don't start my day with a cup of hot tea, even when it's 120 out, life is not good. I have to have my tea. I have to. And then I have to make sure that the child and the dogs are fed and clothed. Well, I guess the dogs don't have to be clothed, but the child does. I have to make sure I eat at some point during the day. I make a commitment every day to laugh. You know, that, I know it sounds weird, but life's just better that way. And then I have to read my Bible every night. And actually I do it on audio, but I have to have my Bible every night.
I my kind of girl. I have to laugh every day too. So how many of you can relate? By a show of hands, how many of you have to list, right? You have to do certain things. I want you to make those statements again and change your mind. You get to. So instead of have to, guess what? You get to clothe those kids. You get to laugh every day. You get to wake up at 3:30 in the morning. So I want you to say that again.
I get to wake up every day. And at one point in all of our lives, it's going to come a day where we don't get to. So I'm going to enjoy that.
Yes.
I get to drink coffee every day because, heck yes, coffee. I get to feed my cat. She is 17. She is old as foretold and cranky. And I'm glad to still have her around. I get to come to work here every day and do my job. And I get to do the kind of job that is a part of not only kind of what I do, but who I am and how I move through the world. That is a tremendous privilege. I get to write down my to-do list, bullet journals all day, every day.
How did that feel?
Pretty rad.
Yes, right, okay.
I get to get up at 3:30 every morning. And I get to go to the gym every single day. I get to come to FBC because that is the ultimate. And I get to be with my family in the afternoon.
All right, I can't remember everything I said, but I get to come here and be kind. I get to, I'm happy that I'm able to go to the gym and that I'm healthy enough to go to the gym every day. And I'm really happy that we have a fish. And I get to take care of the fish, yeah.
I am really happy and that I get to drink the tea that my husband makes me every morning. Oh, no, because he knows I won't get out of the bed unless that tea is made. I get to make sure that my loved ones are fed and clothed, and most days they get to appreciate it. I get to laugh, and if you've ever been in my room, there are lots of reasons to laugh. I have the funniest kids and the best staff, so I get to laugh every day. I get to read my Bible, and thank God I do. And I completely forgot my fifth thing. Okay, cool.
Okay, round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I love volunteers, so thank you guys so much. Did you feel their energy shift? I mean, from a have to a get to. So many times we have the list, I have to do this, I have to do that. And when we start saying, I get to, it completely changes your energy and it changes your mindset. Of course, John Gordon posted something last Thanksgiving. He was, a picture on social media and he's peeling the potatoes. He's like, my wife says I get to peel the potatoes for Thanksgiving dinner. So all of that kind of stuff, he just makes, fun with it. But we get to do life together. We get to do the things on our list. And so when you change that mindset, it really makes a big difference. Next, there's a quote. It says, you can't live a positive life with a negative mind. I'm not sure if you've heard of the tale or the story of two dogs living in a man's head. You heard the tale of the two dogs? Man goes to the village, goes to see a wise man, and he says, help me, help me. I have two dogs in my head. They're constantly fighting. They're always at each other, and I don't know what to do. Which one will win? One is the positive dog, one is a negative dog. Go do it, you can do it. I can't do it, I'm not good enough. Which one is gonna win? And the wise man, as wise as he is, says, the one you feed the most. So feed yourself positive thoughts. Speak kindness to yourself. Say get to instead of have to, right? It's whatever we feed the most is what will grow and become stronger in our mind, in our body, in our life. So I love that. Rule number 4, are you ready? Invite people on your bus and share your vision. The more people that are on your bus, the more energy is on your bus to move your bus forward. So the more energy you have and the more people will come on. We actually have these e-tickets on our website. And George in the book, actually when he has this mindset shift and he shares his vision with his team, handed out these bus tickets and said, are you ready to go down this road with me? Are you ready to encompass this vision? If you are, here's a bus ticket. Turn it in Monday morning. So with your accountability partner as well, you can do this. Or maybe it's your classroom, or maybe it's, your coworkers. Are we ready to go on this ride? What's our vision for our department? Where do we want to go? And invite them to come along. Fueling each other. I had to put this picture up there. It's so great, okay? You can walk, run, or fly. This is one of the events that you guys do. How do you fuel each other? This is really, really important because our gas gauge, it does go down. Sometimes it hits empty. And we look around this room to become fueled. So think about how are people fueling us and how are we fueling others is really, really important. Ready for rule number 5? There's a little caution sign up here that reads drama queen just ahead. Anybody know a drama queen? Show of hands? Oh yeah. Don't waste your energy. No pointing fingers. Don't waste your energy on those who don't get on your bus. We're inviting people on the bus. We're saying, here's where we're going. Here's what I want my ride to look like. Do you want to join me? Remember, you're all riding on each other's bus. You work for one organization, but you are the driver of your bus. So don't waste your energy on people who won't get on your bus. I'll tell you a real short story because I did this a lot in my life. I was a corporate trainer. I had 25 stores back in the day, raising 2 kids, and I traveled all over the country. And my job was to educate, to train on new product, to make sure we do the merchandising, we follow rules and so on and so forth. And so I would go to these stores, and 24 stores were waiting for me to get there. Oh my gosh, the corporate office is here. I'm so glad she's here. We don't know what to do with this. We don't know what to do with that. And they were so excited that I was there. And we increased sales by 10, one store 25%. It was a great relationship. There was one store not so happy to see Petra rolling in on her energy bus. I didn't have one then. I didn't know what that meant. But I would come and she would just hide and she was never available and she didn't want to follow corporate procedures. And when I got back from that week on the road traveling, my husband would say, "Hi, how was your trip?" And I'd say, "You will not believe that manager. She rearranged all of the merchandising. We didn't have the meeting. We didn't have the training." And he's like, okay. And I spent all of my energy and all of my time speaking about the one manager whose store was down 30%, who was not engaged, instead of telling him about the 24 stores who were up in sales, who were engaged, who were on my bus, and we were moving it forward. I spent all my energy on that one manager instead of the people who were on my bus, instead of the people who were moving ahead. So I urge you, if you've got people who are not on your bus and they're not along for the ride, invite new ones to come along. Invite others that are going to fuel that energy and spend your energy on the people on the bus. Drive by. If they're at the bus stop and they don't want to get on, that's okay because you know where you're going. This is really, really important because the people that are on your bus, they need you. And they can tell when you are looking left and right or when you're looking in the rearview mirror or when you're standing at the door saying, come on. And they're like, hello, we're already here. We're ready to get rolling, right? So make sure you don't waste your energy on people who are not on your bus. The people we surround ourselves with, here's another excerpt from a book. The people we surround ourselves with either raise or lower our standard. They either help us become the best version of ourselves or encourage us to become lesser versions. We become like our friends. No man becomes great on his own. No woman becomes great on her own. The people around them help them make them great. We all need people in our lives who raise our standards and remind us of our essential purpose. So who we hang out with and who you invite on your bus and who you spend your energy on is really, really important. You want to raise the bar. You want to be the best version of yourself, which brings us to rule number 6. Have you ever met an energy vampire? No, right? Nobody working here at FBC is an energy vampire. You guys got work to do. But they're out there. Beware. And Halloween is coming. Woo! No energy vampires allowed is rule number 6. It is literally people who will suck the energy out of you, right? Heartmath.org actually tells you that you can feel the energy in someone's heart from 10 feet away, and it is 5,000 times stronger than the brain energy somebody gives off by giving you information. How many of you have been in the vicinity of an energy vampire? And you can feel it. Yes, right? Okay, show of hands. You can literally feel that energy being sucked out of your body. I was at a conference one time and didn't sit at the usual table that I sat at. And I was at a table and the whole table was going, oh my gosh, are they going to talk about that again? And they're changing our pay and they don't even know this. It's 12 women. And I was number 12. And I literally sat there the first morning and we broke for lunch and I went to the restroom. And another friend that I usually sit with was in the restroom and she said, you don't look good. And I go, yeah, I don't feel good. And she was like, yeah, you look kind of pale. Are you getting sick? And I'm like, I don't know. It literally made me sick sitting at that table. I got back I was at lunch with some other people and I thought, okay, I'm good. I went back to the table and immediately all my energy was sucked out of my body. And I said, oh, this is why I'm sick. I became physically ill. So when we're saying this is real, it is real. When we say no energy vampires allowed, or we talk about negativity, the drama queen, we're not negative about negativity. When we talk about positivity, it's not rah, rah, yay, go, like the Broncos cheer. I loved it. And I happen to be, my nickname is Passionate Petra. I'm passionate about things in my life. But not everybody is like that. It doesn't matter the rah-rah, it's real positivity. It is hope, it is vision, it's desire, it's enthusiasm, and it may not look like this. It may not, it may look your own way, but it's about looking and feeding the positive dog versus the negative dog. That's what we're talking about. When there is adversity and there are challenges, addressing them in a positive way. One of the ways we do that with John Gordon Companies, and this has been adapted by a lot of organizations, it works, is the no complaining rule. And some people even post on their office doors, no energy vampires allowed. You have to set the culture for your bus. If you are going a certain way, you have to let people know what your vision is and what your desire is. And the no complaining rule is a great way to let people know, hey, I know we have challenges and I know there's adversity, but I want to implement this thing, the no complaining rule. Doesn't mean nothing's wrong around here. It just means that we do not have mindless complaining. We don't talk about things that we can't fix. We don't dwell on things that, need to change, don't change, or have changed. If there is adversity or there is a challenge, the no complaining rule says you have a complaint, a legitimate complaint, not like, oh, the weather is hot. It's 114 degrees when I moved, by the way, in August. I will never do that again. We can't change it. We're not in control. But it's saying, this is what's wrong, and here's 2 solutions I see. So the no complaining rule is for every complaint you have, you come with 2 solutions. I got so good at this, my last director of sales and training job, I'm like, here's a solution. here's something I see. And I would come with 50 solutions. He's like, wow, you're really good at this. I'm like, yes, I've been practicing it for 10 years. It works. And it doesn't mean that your solutions will always be implemented or that they're the best ones, but people are looking for solutions and you can look for them together. So implementing a no complaining rule is great. Number 7, which boss do you want to work for? This is kind of unfair because you already work for one on the left. He's always standing out back there cheering you guys on. Enthusiasm attracts more passengers. Enthusiasm is like a magnet. You know, when I would go to the school and find teachers for my kids, I wanted the teachers that had enthusiasm. I didn't want, been teaching for 25 years, don't really want to be here, right? And now, we live in a world of reviews. My son chose his professors because of the reviews. The more enthusiasm, the more you're going to attract. Again, it doesn't have to be, you know, the rah-rah fake. Don't fake it. But being excited and being confident in the job that you do will attract people to you like a magnet. So it's just like when you look at reviews of where you're going to go eat or where you're going to stay in your hotel, you're looking for great reviews. So think of this as the review portion. Up here it says CEO equals Chief Energy Officer. Sorry, Mark, we're all CEOs. Woohoo! Right? Yes. You and you and you and you and you, everyone in here. I own my own coaching, business coaching as well. And I'm like, I'm the CEO. And they're like, well, of course you are. It's your business. No, I am a Chief Energy Officer. This is what I believe CEO should stand for. It's the energy you bring. And I think Mark does such a good job with this. But it really is about bringing energy. If enthusiasm and energy, right, is contagious, you can choose every single day of your life, every minute, every hour to be what? The germ, right? Or the vitamin C. You choose. Number 8, rule number 8. Love your passengers. Let people around you know you love them. This doesn't mean you go around hugging and kissing everyone. Like I do, I had to learn, hug or high five. Okay, so, but it means you let people know that you care. So right now, I want you to choose the person sitting next to you, okay? And if you don't have, maybe like right here, there's 3 of you sitting together. I want you to hug, and I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, hold on. I want you to love on them. No, I want you, oh, you are hugging. I would like for you to give them a word of encouragement. I want you to look at each other and give each other a word of encouragement. If you don't know the person sitting next to you and you're not really sure what to share, tell them exactly what you want to hear, because most likely they need to hear it too. All right. Ooh, you guys are good at this. You guys are good at this. Love your passengers. I love this. So sometimes we think, what do I say? How do I love on somebody if I don't know them that well? Speak your own love language. All right. This is why this matters. This quote by Maya Angelou. At the end of the day, people won't remember what you said or did. They will remember how you made them feel. Do y'all feel pretty good right now? Yes, right? That was good, getting words of encouragement. Nobody is looking at the shelf of all their trophies and all their accolades from their horrible boss. No. They're remembering second-grade teachers. They're remembering nurses. They're remembering somebody at church, somebody who spoke life into them. And I want you to know that sometimes you are the only person in the world speaking life into someone. I had my own business for a while, had a team of 250 women, all ages 18 to 82. And I remember coaching them, and one of the women said to me, she was in her 50s, and she said, you know, you're the first person who's ever believed in me. And I thought, well, that can't be. You're amazing. You're teaching me things I didn't know. Like, what do you mean I'm the first person who ever believed in you? And she said, no, you're the first person who's ever believed that I could do this, or that I could move forward, who's speaking kindly or who's spoken to me kindly or who said that I'm able. And I thought, and I can tell you over the years, for 10 years I had that business, and I would say 75% of the women I worked with said those things to me at one time or another. So you carry more responsibility than you even know. In this building, out of this building, with your clients, with each other. Sometimes it just takes you to give a word of encouragement, and that's how you love on your passengers. And you can love on the people that won't get on the bus too, it won't hurt them. Number 9, drive with purpose. I want to read this. So, driving with purpose, and we're almost out of time, so, but I wanted to read the FBC mission statement. I know you all know it, but sometimes we have things hung on a wall, or we have things that we've created, and we don't revisit them often. So keep that vision statement in front of you. Keep the mission to provide education, tools, and services that enable all persons with a vision loss to achieve greater independence. That's the mission every single one of you stand for. But you know what? I know you have a greater purpose here. And I don't know your name in the sweater up front, beautiful dress, stripes, yes. Brooke. I love what Brooke said when she was up here. I don't know if you guys heard it when she said, I get to. She said, I get to work for FBC because it provides for my family, and it provides for who I am, right? It provides for who I am. So even though you are here in this building and you're listening to some crazy person talking about the energy bus, you have a purpose here that is all your own, that nobody else owns. You're on a unique journey, and you have to find that purpose because that's what's going to get you to keep driving towards your vision. There will be potholes. You will get derailed. You will run out of gas. Hopefully the people on your bus will help you change the tire, right, and get out and push. But you will have adversity. So finding your purpose is really, really important. I love the how, where, how, and why. That's how you find your purpose. We talked about where we're going, how we're going to get there, positive fuel, but why? That's your purpose. I love the Blind Buccaneers. I'm such a fan. I can't wait to see the video and I mean, everything that you guys are doing with these FBC challenges. I'm like, why am I not challenging myself in this way? The world needs to hear about this. That's why, to give people confidence, to build people up, to get people to cross borders and seas and do things they've never done. And you can do that in your own life, just with yourself. That's the purpose. Great teams hold each other accountable to high standards, excellence, and their culture demands it. There is a saying that we use in John Gordon. It says, be demanding but not demeaning. All this positivity isn't just rah, rah, we're happy, high fives. We hold each other to a higher standard, and we hold each other accountable, because this bus, it's got to be the best looking bus on the road, right? We don't want to get to that stop sign and look left and right. So be demanding but not demeaning is something that we use a lot. And last but not least, I love these pictures because it looks like you guys really know how to have fun. Have fun and enjoy the ride. Woo! So it ain't worth it if you're not enjoying it. So we're going to have a little fun here today. But before we do, and we're going to put those I don't think I gave the third hand motion. So again, I'm the driver of my bus, right? Okay. Windshield view. And when you hit a bump in the road or when you're inviting people on your bus, it's because wheels on the bus go round and round, right? You keep moving your bus. Okay, right? So we've got the wheel, we have the windshield, and we have the wheels. We keep moving regardless, right? So we're going to put it all together. But before we do, on your way out, there's a positivity pledge. It talks about the things that you pledge to yourself, as part of being more positive. And let me just read them quickly. I'll try to buzz through them. I know we're at time. I'm sorry. Okay. I pledge to be a positive person and positive influence on my family, friends, coworkers. I vow to stay positive and in the face of negativity. When I feel fear, I choose faith. When I meet failure, I will fail forward towards a future success. So those are just a few. That's in the back of the room. I want to urge you to grab an accountability partner. Maybe it's somebody sitting next to you right now when you were telling each other those encouraging words. Maybe it's somebody that needs you, that couldn't be here today. Find an accountability partner, sign that pledge together. It is powerful. You can't do it alone. There is negativity and there is adversity. And remember, negativity doesn't have a name. It's not a person. It is life. It will always be there. And this is the way we're going to overcome it. And we're going to have some fun. All right, so we're going to cue music in a little. We're going to put it all together. I need everybody on their feet. I need everybody to stand up. Okay. So I used to be a dancer. I was not a cheerleader, but I was a dancer. Any other dancers in the house? Come on. Yes! Okay, so you know we count 5, 6, 7, 8, right? That's kind of how we count down. 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to do the wheel for 8 counts. We're going to do the windshield wiper for 8 counts. And we're going to do the wheels on the bus. And I hope that tomorrow, when you're in your office and negativity hits, that you're going to remember, ooh, yeah. Woohoo. And hopefully the song will stick a little bit. Are we ready? Cue music. Wait for it. And hang on. You guys get to practice. Wheel, windshield wiper. Woohoo! Technology is great. Okay, let's practice. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Woo! If we can't get it together, you guys will have the song. You'll have to do it. You'll have to do it at your next meeting. You have to promise me, okay? But again, remember, you're the driver of your bus. I'm the driver of my bus. I'm the driver of my bus. I'm the driver of my bus. Woo! Thank you guys so much for having me. I know you have work to do, but thank you. It's been a pleasure. Love you guys.